This is Maurice Odhiambo, the African teacher. We are still going through world events, especially reflecting on what transpired last year and what all those events mean for 2026 and going forward. Today, I want to pose the question: is military force alone enough to sustain the American empire? As an African, I am not a fan of empires at all. We Africans are still traumatized because of colonization by imperialist forces. But let's just look at this analysis based on my understanding of international politics. Now, if you look at Donald Trump's policies carefully, you realize that he really desperately wants to maintain the empire in all its power. But at the same time, he is eroding the very policies that have helped to sustain the empire. In international relations, we recognize both hard and soft power. And of course, there are also those who talk about smart power, which is basically just, bringing the two together. So, of course, hard power refers to military power, the power of coercion, using sanctions, threats, and so on. And we have seen all those as a package used by Donald Trump. Soft power is the power of persuasion. So soft power is the opposite of hard power. So it relies on interactions based on culture, based on political values, based on policies. Some people also talk about aid as part of the part of soft power. That is. Now, the closure of USAID, which I don't mourn because I think that's good for everybody. The closure of the United States Agency for International Development in July 2025 is one of those acts which signify that Donald Trump wants to erode the soft power basis of the US's power. Now, if you look at this again, interestingly, right now, the US is actually signing deals on health. Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, I think, and other countries have signed these health deals. In Kenya here, citizens have fought back because, the policy is not good for the country. Now, that raises the question whether Trump's policies of eroding the very policies that have sustained the empire is actually the right policy. In December, just last month, the green card lottery was suspended. Now, this followed a shooting at Brown University by a student, I think, from Portugal or something. And the green card lottery awards like 50,000 immigrant visas to the US. And for me, it's part of the brain drain. It's part of the one of the avenues through which well-trained, skilled manpower is extracted from Africa and other parts of the world. Now, the US administration, of course, used this Brown shooting incident as an excuse to continue shutting down these avenues of soft power. Why do I say that? I say that because in the USA today, there are about 400 shootings. Get that into your brain. About 400 shootings. And almost 200 of those shootings are fatal. So this one shooting out of around 400 shootings. But the Trump administration used that to hype the MAGA agenda, particularly when it comes to immigration. All right. So you see where this analysis is heading. And I'm almost certain, I'm almost sure that the green card will either be reactivated or it will come back in a different form. Of course, I don't really care about that. I'm not really interested in all these American things. And as I've said, it is part of the brain drain, particularly when it comes to African countries. But so my argument is basically whether, and I should just go back to the question, when you erode soft power, you are left with military power. I'll repeat that again. When you erode soft power, you are left with military power. Hence my question, is military force enough to sustain the American empire? And we are already seeing Donald Trump promised the MAGA base that he will not start any wars. Now he has bombed Nigeria. He has bombed Venezuela and kidnapped its leader. He has threatened Cuba. He has threatened Mexico. He has threatened Canada. He has threatened the Finns with the Greenland issue, and so on. So it points out to the direction that the abandonment of soft power will actually lead to more militarism. Hence the question, is military force enough to sustain the American empire?